Fight fans, buckle up. 8 days out from UFC 320, Magomed Ankalaev and Poatan Pereira couldn't even get through a hallway without friction. The two ran into each other at the UFC PI, and Ankalaev, fresh off the March win that put 205 gold on his shoulder, spoke in Russian while a teammate ran the words through a phone translator.
То же самое не нужно словами бросаться. Мы ожидаем что-то октября бой. Давайте сделаем это в ринге. Зачем говорить пустые слова?
Eu não falei nada, ele sempre falou. Eu nunca falei nada, ele sempre falou. E agora quando chegou frente a frente é cuzão, pô.
Pereira sat back on the couch, listened, and fired right back in Portuguese. He hasn't been doing the talking, Ankalaev has. And now that they're face-to-face, Pereira called him exactly what he thinks he is, an asshole. The clip was short, but the subtext was loud. Pereira has already accused Ankalaev of ducking him at the PI earlier in the week, waiting outside until Poatan left to walk in, while Ankalaev clapped back online. This is a rematch with layers. Ankalaev's first win came through structure, long-range discipline, strong clinch choices, and a refusal to buy Pereira's feints. Pereira's path is narrower but nuclear. He doesn't need 4 clean rounds. He needs 4 clean seconds. Their PI dust-up tells you 2 things. Neither side will cede posture in public, and both are happy to let proximity do the promoting. Expect opening minute math. Who sets the kicking distance? Who wins the first clinch break? And who lands the first calf answer? If Ankalaev holds center and checks kicks, he drags Poatan into repetition. If Pereira touches the legs early and gets Ankalaev reacting, the counters that made him a 2-division champion become live again. Whose read are you buying? Ankalaev's system or Pereira's thunder? Drop your pick, method or round, in the comments. Then hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss Fight Week fallout when the long PE clip lands. Conor McGregor jumped on X and wrote a 3-part manifesto. The champ returns, just over 8 months to UFC White House. My masterpiece to be painted. Then he got transactional. $100 million to fight on the South Lawn plus 100 US golden visas for family and friends. He says he's punching more venomous than ever, wants to release built-up aggression, and claims the fiscal record book is already his. He also left the door cracked for a BKFC cameo after his UFC comeback, peak Conor, keeping optionality as leverage. What matters is that the appetite and the ask are public. Dana White has said real matchmaking won't start until early next year, but he's been in steady contact and believes McGregor is serious. The tone here is familiar. Paint the vision, set the price, then let the machine argue with itself. If the White House card is truly a one-of-one set piece for America 250, nobody moves the needle like McGregor. The questions are classic. Who's the dance partner? What weight? And can the UFC square the numbers and visas with a federal security jigsaw that will already be the most complex event the promotion has ever staged? For now, the takeaway is simple. The drum is beating louder and Conor's holding the sticks. Between ice baths, meditation, and wild 5-rounders, Jiri Prochazka quietly added a new line to the resume, a master's degree in security and strategic studies.
Dětství celkově s ním bylo divoký, bláznivý a jako starší brácha se dokázal jak o mě postarat, jako jak mě krýt, tak zároveň mi dokázal dělat i dobré takové pastičky, mě chystat doma.
It fits. Jiri's always treated fighting as a life discipline, language learning, stoicism, forestry-level solitude. So seeing him stack academic strategy alongside cage strategy feels inevitable. It also hints at the version we'll see next. He's not just polishing technique, he's expanding frameworks. Fighters age best when they add tools that don't require the same wattage every minute. A smarter Jiri is a more dangerous Jiri because the chaos gets curated. Bookmark this for when his next booking drops, especially if the light heavyweight belt shuffles again after UFC 320. Ilia Topuria didn't write a paragraph. He launched a bet. Who wants to bet with me that I'm the main event at the White House? That's either supreme confidence, inside whisper, or both. The champ has said repeatedly that he wants moments as big as wins, Bernabeu-sized moments, history book pictures. A White House main event checks all of those boxes and hands him a US page to add to Spain's. The roster's full of would-be co-stars, McGregor, Jones, if allowed, Chimaev, and Topuria understands the optics. Champions don't wait for invites, they speak like hosts. Whether the ink matches the energy is next year's problem. Right now, Ilia is keeping his name glued to the center of the poster in every conversation that matters. In a camp that already runs hot, Alex Pereira shared a clip that reminds everyone why gym rounds have insurance forms. During a sparring sequence, Poatan's knee drifted high and caught training partner Ross on the face, opening the bottom lip and sending him for stitches.
Hey brother, sorry my brother.
It's okay. It is what it is.
Pereira immediately apologized, "Sorry, my brother," and reposted the moment with the caption, "Comes with the job." It was an accident, and by the look of it, Ross got off relatively light considering Pereira's reputation for transferring horsepower through tiny windows. This isn't about blame, it's about tempo. Poatan's style doesn't silo power for fight night. It lives in his foot placement, in how he exits clinches, in how he hides knees inside half beats. That's why partners get dinged, even in technical work, and it's why Ankalaev cannot get stuck midway through an angle with his hands low. The clip also tells you Poatan's moving freely, no signs of the kind of camp compromise that robs timing. When he's springy, everything else takes less effort, and he's been preaching that he's not the talker in this rivalry, he's the consequence. Should sparring clips like this be shared during camp, or do they give opponents too much film? Sound off. And if you want full fight breakdowns and post-fight grades the minute UFC 320 wraps, subscribe and ring the bell so the algorithm puts the recap in your lap.